It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Celtics in Boston. Looking at Boston, they've been an absolute juggernaut, still undefeated on the season. Truly amazing. They've played extraordinary basketball night in, night out. And we all know that DeMar DeRozan is an incredible scorer. But one of the big reasons why he's so good often gets overlooked. It's his...
It's an Eastern Conference matchup as the Toronto Raptors come into town for this one. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, Kevin, one of the strengths...
That shared experience and corporate knowledge, so important, DA. Thank you. Kevin, coming out of high school, you were relatively mature for your age, as 17 turning 18, but do you ever regret not trying college and just seeing what that experience would have been like? I mean, it's such a long time ago, but you've had some chance probably to get some perspective on both sides of that story.
You know what, Kev, I look at it like the unknown is the unknown. Obviously, I've had friends that went to college. Some of my best friends went to college. And I think I've kind of lived it through them a little bit. Listen, when you have responsibility early in life.
Which you did.
Which I did.
Yes.
And, you know, so from a mature level, things that interest me are not that interesting as you get older, especially when you have to deal with a vigorous schedule of an NBA schedule. I wasn't able to, you know, be the 17, 18-year-old to chill, have, you know, lean on the parents a little bit, be able to be at home, you know, coming home through the weekends. You know, I had a real life that I was responsible for, and I was growing something. I was building something. You know, I was trying to not just be a young player in our league, but a young businessman wanting to establish something for myself, my friends, my family. You can't do those things thinking like a normal 17, 18-year-old. You're taking pieces from grown men around you all the time. You're around people who need something all the time. At some point, you have to put all this together. You have to make it work for you. You have to put your spin on it and for how it works for you and your brand. And you have to be innovative with that. You have to be creative with that. You have to have a vision.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. Here are the five for the Raptors. Lowry and DeRozan are the 1 and the 2. They create so much offense. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Anunoby in at the small forward position. Siakam passes to DeRozan. Count it. And when you watch Marcus Smart, you can see just how strong he can be on the defensive end. Why do you think, KG, he is such an impactful defender?
Marcus Smart, he rarely gambles. If you watch him play defense, he's very solid. Takes up space. You know, when these point guards now, they want to be able to have space to be able to create. He gives you one direction. You know what?
He anticipates well.
He anticipates well. More importantly, he's very smart. He understands the whistle. He understands hard fouls. He knows when to foul hard, when not to. And on the offensive end, too, he'll hit a three. He's a gutsy player. You know, on the defensive end, he'll take charges. He'll do little tangible stuff that a lot of guys won't do. Man, you need a smart on your team to do the small things if you're trying to really win.
And the smart things, right?
The smart things. Only you, K-Hard.
No, come on. I just got that from you. What are you talking about? You said it. I just
classic.
I just repeated right
classic
there.
2K. Classic 2K K-Hard right there. You lit, K. You lit.
Because I'm next to you.
You lit. I'm telling you, you lit.
Come on.
Hey.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And, Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, you know, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
You know, those are great coaches. I've had very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, you know, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You know, you open up yourself to try to, you know, be there, be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, you know, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well. We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you're very cordial. And, you know, you're not talking too much about X's and O's. But you do share perspectives. You do share, you know, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil's super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, shout out to Doc, and I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated. He would always tell us, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Yeah, and in that game, we saw a lot of sloppy play from the opposing offense. They coughed the ball up, a lot of unforced turnovers.
They sure got some breaks, but hey, they did a really awesome job turning those mistakes into gold at the other end.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
You start to wonder, in my opinion, is it better to take everything to the rack now or to try at least draw some fouls?
Kuzminskis, he's checked in for Smart. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Celtics.
And they really based almost their entire offense around the three-point shot. Spread the floor, space the defense, and if the deep shots aren't falling, at least it should open things up inside.
And Kevin, welcome to the 2K team. I didn't realize how much you love NBA 2K.
Oh, man, 2K is always live, man. I'm a super fan. Man, this game is going all over the place, bro. Like, seriously, like, I'm geeked to see what's next, man. They got everything down. I'm sitting here watching all the little small intangibles that come with the game. I'm watching the game grow. I'm watching how better players are getting. I'm watching the online play, man. It's lit. It's lit. I can't wait to see this.
DeRozan with it. A 23-point game for him in the win against New Orleans.
He also was very good distributing the basketball, keeping guys involved and engaged all night. You know what? He tried to lay it in at the point of attack. Just too much defensive pressure on that play.
Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that really, you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently than that.
I call it dialed in.
What?
I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, I only know one way to
go at it with
accomplish
gusto,
something.
right?
You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Poked loose and stolen by Tatum. Goes up and slam dunk by Tatum.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Dominating on the court, and it's showing up on the scoreboard. Let's see if they can maintain this level of intensity.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment.
And if you really want to make things hard on yourselves, this is exactly how you do it. Turnovers on back-to-back trips down the floor.
So Boston ends up going with a new group, and then for Toronto, Hurdle comes in for Pascal Siakam, and it's DeLon right in for Anunoby. Conley kicks to Brown, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
And so here's Toronto. Outside DeRozan. Brown against Wright. Pass to Ibaka. And the layup's good off the glass.
If you let Serge get looks in there, he's going to shoot him for a very high percentage.
In the corner, it's Morris. Nice ball movement by Boston. Baines inside. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Here's Ibaka. Here's DeRozan. Morris with the block.
And a rare block shot from Morris. Anticipates the move and just times it out perfectly.
And so it's Boston, riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We'll return shortly. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And, guys, we've seen the Celtics really take control here.
I mean, really good with their post presence, and it's really allowed them to establish a physical tone here in the first.
Well, you know, in this era, everybody likes the three-point shot. I like their commitment to pounding the ball inside.
And KG, talk about how the greats can just impose their will.
It's almost like another level. Yeah. When you see LeBron, what he did to Detroit in that fourth quarter, that's a blackout. You don't know what you're doing. When you see Cole go for 81, when you see Chauncey come down on a one, these players are blacking out. These are elite players in elite moments, taking the moment. Paul Pierce is one of the best that I've ever seen grab a moment and savor it and just put it in slow-mo. And nothing speeding them up.
Special plays.
Special plays, bro. I get a front row seat of seeing that. Ray Allen, the same thing. He had a great composure about himself to slow himself down and hit pressure shots. Tim Duncan, same thing.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Ibaka is out there with Pirtle. Then it's DeRozan, and it's Van Vliet in at the 2. Kicks it to Conley. Back to Kuzminskis. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Kuzminskis has got 7 points in the game. Kevin, you were so successful jumping from high school to pros. What do you think about the current situation now, the age of 19, the minimum to go to the draft?
You know, I'm always be a fan of the younger kids being able to have the opportunity. I don't like when you put parameters. I could see if college was really teaching these kids and really giving them a solid situation to be able to have something to defer to. But, you know, these kids are not learning at the rate that you would like them to learn in college. And plus, they're not staying in college to these great institutions to be able to apply some of the things they're learning. So I just think that they need...
They're basketball players.
They're basketball players, but they should have the opportunity to take advantage of if you're able to play at 17, 18 like I was. Not saying that every kid's going to have that, but you have obviously the D-League. You have all these multiple leagues throughout the world and where kids go to play. You know, some kids have missed out just because of that 1 year with some mishaps. And you sit here, you can say, you know, for business is good for this. Listen, the business is what it's going to be. We need to develop and have these kids be professionals more than anything. We need to grow these kids from a skill level and an appetite level. Our game was built off for one to be better than the ones that's come before us. You know what I'm saying? Lou Alcindor came in here. He was, a.k.a. obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was more encouraged to beat out Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell more than anything. And then that starts to trickle down from the effect of from Jordan wanting to be better than Larry Bird and Magic to Cole wanting to be better than, you know, it's the same thing. It's being trickled down. And when I think of greatness, I think, you know, it's going to follow. It's going to be shadows, and at some point it's going to mimic.
Baines with the block.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Conley gets the bucket. Regular season grind, 82 games in the regular season. In your opinion, is that the right amount of games for teams to play, or would you like to see the schedule shortened where there's more practice in between, more days of rest, more days to recuperate?
Man, look.
You got a big smile on your face.
For the old school, Kev, you know, 82 games is how you got to come through it. This is, listen.
It's a war, isn't it?
It is. And you know what? This is the tradition of it, man. This is what it is, bro. If you don't want to go through this and go through this hall and this road of this journey, then cool. Go to another league. They got shorter games. They got other awards that you can, you know. This is the NBA. This is what it is. This is the grind of it. And ones that have come before you have done it, just like the ones that's after you is going to do it. This is what it is, bro.
Kevin, over the years, we've seen a number of super teams develop, and in the Warriors' case, it's not the big three, it's the big four. Is this a trend you see continuing? You did it in Boston.
Man, look.
You were the original big three.
It seems like it, eh? You know, right.
You were the original big three.
You know what? It's like an innovative time. Right? I didn't even know that we were doing that. Right, because LeBron come back and do what? LeBron goes to
Miami. He's
Miami
the big
after
three
that,
right down there. Yeah.
And then what? Then it just starts morphing into these different things, right?
KD to Golden State.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What do you think of that?
I think this is pretty much the norm. You know what? Listen, I think KD took a lot of heat for it, but when you really think about what he's doing, is that, let's say 20 years from now, he sits back, he wants to talk to Steph, he wants to talk to Draymond, he's talking to Clay. These are all going to be three greats with him. I'm just talking about those three guys. He's playing with three other greats. I'm sorry. If you had a chance to play with three other greats in the prime, Kev, you're going to do that. And if you don't, then something's wrong with you.
And, Kevin, you look at the star players joining up today. At the end of the day, it's about winning.
The game is about winning. More importantly, it's about these bonds that you're able to establish. Those guys are going to be brothers forever. Now, I get the whole OKC, him leaving, right? But this is morphing into something else, and I think that this is going to be part of the norm.
Championships.
It is, man, and that's what you're in this for. You go to build these things. I don't know if I would have done it like that, but I understand it. I get it. He's playing with the other greats that's making the game more efficient for him, and it's working. But, yes, I see this being the norm in the league.
Smart. Irving from long range. That's miss number 3 for him. Now 2 for 5 from the floor. Raptors trail by 20. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. Good on the three-point shot. Lowry's got 5 points so far.
If Lowry gets his feet set under him on a catch and shoot like that, the odds are it'll go in.
To the inside. Misses off the left iron.
It's been a frustrating quarter for him shooting the basketball. He just has to make sure he's taking good shots.
And KG, I have to say, a pleasure to have you with us here tonight, providing your great insight and intellect into these broadcasts. Thanks so much for being with us on the show, and I hope you come by again.
Man, K-Hall, anytime you need me, man, you let me know, man. I'm yours, man. You know what it is.
The great, the champion, Kevin Garnett. Wow, it's such a pleasure to have Kevin Garnett with us. Steve, he looks like he hasn't changed a bit, like he could go out there now and still play.
I totally agree. He's one of those guys that stayed in phenomenal shape, and when he played, I mean, his impact on the game from the 1 position all the way to the 4, he was a handful.
You know, Steve, he may not have come into the league as a big-time three-point shooter, but Kyle Lowry has made that a big part of his offensive game.
He has. He averages around 10 points a game from long distance. He's able to make shots off the catch and shoot, and he's comfortable off the dribble. That's huge at the point guard position nowadays.
And in today's game, we're really so used to thinking of passing as the key to an efficient offense. But this Raptors club, they do it a different way. For them, the screen is the assist, giving their guards space to pull up or attack the rim.
Up top, Valanciunas. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against New Orleans. Here's Siakam. Another shot. And Valanciunas with the layup.
Gotta love the big man Valanciunas fighting for that extra chance, and he was rewarded for his effort.
Irving kicks to Tatum. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And the Raptors for the last few seasons, Greg, right at the bottom of the league in assists.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they do make good decisions. They're a low turnover team, and they've been pretty efficient offensively. One area where you can offset that is by their ability to get to the free throw line, because that puts a lot of pressure on your defense with their ability to attack.
And the Celtics making a change here. Monroe's checked in. Serge Ibaka is checked in for the Raptors. Lowry can't get it to go. Hayward kicks to Tatum. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. 10 points for Jason Tatum.
The precise passing ability of Hayward, really a luxury for this team.
Lowry inside the line. He knocks it down right at the buzzer.
That's a shot he'll never forget, as dramatic as they come.
A thrilling way to finish this one.
And so it's Boston, feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, you guys are down right now. How do you get back into the game?
Well, the thing about it is we got to have some want-to, some defensive toughness, some grit. We're not playing with that. I saw none of that in our first few minutes of the game. I've got to see some focus and some fire.
I know you'll look out for it, Case. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have an exhilarated home crowd joining us for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaq. Out in front at the half is Boston. They are way out in front, leading by 17. Kenny, what did you see from them?
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, valuing each possession, so critical to the tempo, so crucial to the offensive flow. They've got a great rhythm, as smart and as safe as they're playing. They made it clear they're not going to beat themselves today.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
Well, they struggled in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. You know, guys, Jason Tatum has really been making it happen.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
What I love watching is
And Steve, free throws, not the most exciting aspect of the game, certainly, but they're a great way to put points on the board. Talk about the mentality for a score. You know, getting to the line and making that part of his game.
Kevin, if you're a scorer, you got to be able to knock down free throws, especially those games you're not shooting a high percentage from the field. But if you can get to the line 6 times, 7 times on your own, and you're shooting 85 to 90%, that gives you 5 or 6 points. And then you have a couple technical fouls, and you get put another 2 points on there. You're talking about a guy as a scorer that are 9, we call it free points. Now you need a couple threes and a couple one-on-one moves. You're at 20, and everything else after that is gravy.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Celtics. Harrison out there with Brown. Then there's Monroe. Then it's Marcus Morris, and it's Yabusele in at the power forward position. Siakam kicks to Valanciunas. 11 feet away, hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Valanciunas has got his second basket.
He usually shoots a high percentage in the paint, and on that play, Valanciunas got it done.
It's fine to extend your defense to try and create turnovers, but guys have to help each other.
That's been a problem for them all game. Teamwork is something you just can't turn on and off.
Screened by Valanciunas. 6 to shoot, and Lowry has it in the corner. Back to DeRozan. No good with the triple. Celtics leading by 17. Here's Yabusele. DeRozan with the rebound. The Raptors have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. And the pass to Siakam. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got 3 assists now in this one. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
When things come too easy, it's easy to lose focus. But they held each other accountable and played hard.
Some changes for Boston. Tatum comes in for Yabusele, and it's Mike Conley in for Harrison. The Raptors also with a sub. Pirtle, he is checked in for Pascal Siakam. Here's Conley. It's good from about 19 feet. Conley's got 6 points.
Great concentration from Conley. The shot well contested, but it didn't matter.
And Mike Conley Jr.,
You know, you talk about being bred for success. Remember, his dad was a gold medalist in the triple jump, and you can just see that athleticism in his game. Super quick and elusive out on the floor.
Lowry from outside. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Not letting his team down. He's been very strong. He just needs a little help from his teammates.
Here's Monroe, and he banks in the layup. And the Celtics lead by 16.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. Over Conley. Up again. The putback, and they have their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. This break in the action gives us a chance to show you the NBA's current fast break specialists. Number 1, the Celtics.
And that's a fun category. Most fans love that kind of up-tempo offense, and these guys are the best in the game playing that style.
Here's Lowry. He's got 14. The 11-footer, and that's good off the glass that time. Lowry's got 7 now in this quarter. To the inside, Tatum, and slam dunk by Tatum.
Whenever a guy is open, Conley will find him. He has a talent for getting the ball to his guys quickly.
Raptors trail by 16. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas, to the middle. And Poeltl gets it to go on the assist from Valanciunas. 8 points for Jakob Poeltl.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Down low, the kick out to Brown. Shoots the 3. Good on the triple. Brown's got 7.
And the three-point shot is something that Brown continues to improve upon. It's important for him to be draining these looks.
And the Raptors call time here. And Valanciunas, far from a finished product, Steve. His coaches and teammates feel he will get better, but in your opinion, where does he need to improve?
I think on a defensive end, he does a nice job of blocking shots, but I would love to see him in rotations, being able to be there a little bit earlier. And then on the offensive end, extend his range a little bit more and also have somewhat of a go-to move down on the low block.
And look, you never want to see a team gut you this way. Really a good timeout.
Some of this is just a matter of toughness, a willingness to play physical inside, something we're not seeing.
And Wright kicks to Ibaka. Moves back up. Poeltl. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Kuzminskis, no good.
And guys, there's a lot to like here defensively. That shot almost ends up in the stands.
And he was not quite in position to block the shot, but the result is all the same.
This one for 3. Rebound by the Raptors. Poeltl's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And it's Wright missing. Celtics leading by 14. Conley dishes to Irving. That's in there. Conley with the assist. And 11 points for Kyrie Irving.
Such a compact release. That's why Kyrie is so efficient from range.
Screen by Ibaka. Back to Wright. That's tipped. And here is Conley. He's got 6. The Celtics working the ball around now. Kuzminskis, no good.
You don't want your best shooter heaving up that shot.
No, not at all. Coach is not going to like that one.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
To the paint. Plays it up and banks it in. Kuzminskis has got 9.
And credit Kyrie, tremendous vision. Finds the open man.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Now the dish to Ibaka. Back to Wright. And there's the call on Kuzminskis. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul. Substitution on.
15 seconds left here in the third quarter. There's the feed to Ibaka. 14 feet away, and it's good. 2 points.
And that's a nice jumper by Ibaka, showing good touch from mid-range.
On its way from Irving for 2. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And you can't end the period any better than that.
Yeah, I agree. Shot clock doing his thing. He times it out perfectly.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Celtics out in front, up by 16. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
They're playing harder, they're cutting harder, they're running harder, they're playing defense on us harder down here. We're kind of tiptoeing on our cuts. We got to up our level.
And Dwayne Casey imploring his guys to put forth a greater effort. Feels they're getting out hustled.
That's right. I mean, the one thing coaches cannot stand is a lack of energy. And expect these guys to ramp it up from an intensity standpoint.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. On the court for Toronto to start the fourth. We've got Anunoby. White is out there with Ibaka. And it's Van Vliet in at the 1 spot. DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for Toronto. Screen by Ibaka. 6 on the shot clock. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Celtics leading by 16. Here's Tatum. Tries again. In deep. Irving drops it in. Irving's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Boston. Irving's gone 6 of 10 shooting tonight from the field. Van Vliet passes to Anunoby. And pretty much every NBA player grew up playing multiple sports. Smitty, which other sports did you play as a kid growing up? And did you think maybe that would have helped you playing basketball later on?
You know, Kevin, I tried football, and it definitely helped me in basketball because I said, no, this is not for me. So let me put all my emphasis in basketball. Taking those hits, I just wasn't built for that. And after that, I ran cross country because you had to do 2 sports in my high school to be able to play one. I didn't like that either, but I think cross country really helped me with basketball.
But I can see where a lot of other sports could help with footwork and hand-eye coordination and right on down the line.
Yeah, soccer, I think, is number one. I watched Tony Parker, the way his movement, playing soccer. My son right now is playing soccer. Hakeem Olajuwon. I think that's the sport that coincides the best with basketball.
I would agree. And the Raptors call time here.
You know, so many people were surprised at the Kyrie Irving trade, but throughout the decades, Boston's been unafraid to pull the trigger. I mean, they moved up to number 2 to draft the great Bill Russell, moving back to number 3 to draft McHale, add Parrish, assembling the big 3 for a championship, then dismantling that big 3 for all those unprotected picks. This is an organization that stops at nothing to try and win titles.
Boston making some changes. Yabusele, he's checked in for Hayward. And it's Kuzminskis in for Smart. And the Raptors also making a change. Valanciunas is checked in. They set the pick. Pass to Lowry. Feeds it to Valanciunas. Back to Lowry. Looking to end the run. And the Raptors miss again.
You know, thinking about Kyrie's legacy here in Boston, this is a town that cares only about championships. That's how his contribution is going to be measured. And only time will tell if he can walk in the shoes of the greatest players to ever put on a Celtics uniform.
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. No good from Valanciunas. The Celtics have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there.
And the point differential tells the story. Their two-way play has been outstanding.
You know, it's a matter of effort plus talent. You need both to dominate this way.
And the Raptors making a change here. And the initial rules for the NBA include that 6 personal fouls is the magic number before you're done for the game. It's been this way since, who can remember. But do you think 6 is the right number, Steve, for fouls? Or would you like to see them raise or lower it?
I definitely wouldn't want to see them raise it. I think 7 would be too much. Maybe if they lower it, that's a possibility. But right now I think it's 6. Maybe 5, or maybe you can experiment during some preseason games or in summer league. But I think 6 should be the maximum.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Lowry drawing the double team. Lets it go with a 3. Raptors get it back. Here's Richardson, and the rejection by Monroe. Here's Irving. Down it drops through the net for his 9th bucket. He is 9 for 13 so far.
That's all confidence right here. He knows he's in a groove, and they've got this team on its heels.
Lowry kicks to Nogueira. And so it's Boston with it. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Irving passes to Kuzminskis. Rebound by the Raptors.
I can tell you right now, the coach loved everything about that shot except the result.
Oh, smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes, can't they?
And on some plays, everything goes your way except for the finish.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
He can't get that one. Irving for 3. Here's Yabusele, and he dunks it down.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
You know what? When you don't box him out, he will burn you for it. He threw that putback down with the authority.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
The momentum is building, scoring in a bunch of ways. That's why his number keeps getting called.
Lowry kicks to Richardson. Off target from outside. Here's the Celtics with the ball. They're on an 18-4 run. Here's Kuzminskis. Tries again. No good from Yabusele.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
Lowry for 3. It's a hand on it. Rebound by Monroe. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Celtics.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Kyrie Irving.
What you like about his approach at the offensive end today, once he got into a rhythm, he stayed focused. That's why the points just kept coming.
And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first.
The Raptors making the switch here. And it's the Raptors' ball. Covered by Morris. And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second personal foul.
And the 3 off target. And here's Boston. They're on a 20-4 run right now. And that one's good, Harrison.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
You know, you feel on top of the world when it happens as a player, just the relationship you have with the fans.
Here's Van Vliet. Nogueira passes to Van Vliet. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Gordon, nice win for you guys tonight. What was the difference?
Energy. I think we play with a lot of energy, passion, especially defensively. You know, when we're all doing our job and we're playing and we're focused and we're solid defensively, we're not really having lapses, we can be a pretty good team. You know, that we don't have to walk the ball up the court, and it's not as difficult on our offense. So it all starts defensively, and I think it all starts with energy down there.
You've become one of the best young defensive teams in the league, Gordon. Thanks very much. Back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Steve Smith, Craig Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. See you later.